What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the Blackfire Technical Analysis YouTube channel. I'm your host, Crypto Bro, and I'll be honest with you, the vibes are real chill today. I just woke up about an hour ago, so I'm still shaking off some cobwebs, and I figured I'd get on here before executing some plans I have for the day and get the stream knocked out. Plenty to talk about, plenty to discuss. Maybe have to do a couple of restructuring of specific charts, which, all for educational purposes, obviously, we're gonna knock it out today. We do have some requests already in the comment section. My boy Chris already dropping 4 cryptocurrency requests. Appreciate it. He's at the store, so we're probably gonna wait till he. Well, I'm gonna wait till the end of the stream. Maybe give him a chance to get his affairs taken care of, and then get home in time for me to analyze his 4 requests. Big shout out to all the members of the Blackfire Technical Analysis community. We hit 350 community members today. 350. Road to 1,000, you guys. That's what we're going. That's what we're headed for. Road to 1,000. Everybody that is a part of the crypto. I'm tired. Don't judge me. Anybody that's a part of the Blackfire Technical Analysis community, everybody that has shown the love and the support by becoming a community member. If you're seeing this, thank you so much, you guys. Thanks for being a part of the community. Thank you for, helping our channel grow and our community grow even further and more day by day. Big 350 right now. Pretty excited about that. Again, it is a little, on the slower side. I'm still trying to, tell myself, like, listen, Brian, you're into technical analysis, and this is, one of those arts that not very many people are interested in. A lot of people have a tendency to just scroll right on by because, this isn't their cup of tea. But I got 350 members that are in the Blackfire Technical Analysis community that tell me otherwise. Let's see what we're at on on YouTube. Still at 116 subscribers on YouTube, but we'll keep going, we'll keep grinding, we'll keep working. I'm actually getting together with a business partner today. She's going to throw me some ideas that I could try to start incorporating into my YouTube channel, see if I can get some more traction, not only for the Blackfire community, but for the YouTube channel as well. So definitely thinking about different things, definitely thinking about trying to improve the channel, improve the traffic, improve the availability of, all the content. So, thank you. Seriously, thank you to everybody that's here, that's part of the community. Thank you, everybody, for showing support, showing love. It goes a long way. It really does. It makes the channel, and it makes me super, super, super excited to get on here with, on YouTube, 116, possible viewers to be coming through and watching the analysis. So again, much love, much thanks, much appreciation. It definitely goes a long way. So thank you. And without further ado, I do have a plan to keep this one short and sweet today. I am going to hit everything that I normally hit. Maybe do a couple of restructuring on some charts here. Obviously, we'll start off with NASDAQ, and this is kind of one of the ones I want to restructure real quick. We're going to go ahead and delete some of that stuff here. Identify, points of interest here. Obviously, we have a beautiful point of interest here on the lows. A nice consolidation phase here, which we are currently holding as tentative support. Price action is currently trapped in this little bit of a liquid zone. So we're gonna put a rectangle in here to properly identify this area. Is in my opinion a very important region for price action right now. Right, this determines whether we see a little bit more of a pullback, or we find tentative support, break above the blue box territory, and extend to new all-time highs here. We're gonna get a couple of more areas of interest opened up. Again, I am trying to overall simplify my analysis as much as humanly possible. This one looks good right here. Okay. That's where we're going to leave it. That's where we're going to get the fibs out here. And then we're going to start on Mr. NASDAQ here. We got our extensions. Boom. And we need retracements. Just in case. Here we go. Beautiful. There she be. That's it. That's all I need to do to get my chart ready. fib retracements, fib extensions. Identify the little, a very important region of price action right now. Identify a couple of areas of massive, major interest, and go from there. So looking at price action right now. Oh shit, what's going on with the box here? There we go. So going with price action right now, obviously I just mentioned NASDAQ is finding support inside this blue box territory right now as it stands. This is, again, this isn't like the most important region. What this region tells me here is whether we continue to new all-time highs or whether, we pull back and potentially see consolidation, still be valid within this formation here. Any candle closure below 16,440, I will be looking for a tentative test of the 21 exponential. Not out of the question to see price action fall, hit that 21 exponential, bounce off of that region, confirm some type of higher low before continuing to new all-time highs. Again, we made our first pass at the all-time high resistance, and typically, when I see the first pass, I'm going to be looking for potential sell-offs, right? It's not unlikely to see the first pass of resistance being tested and then actually succeeding as resistance. But we do see the reaction of price action here. Not a strong reaction off of that resistance. Obviously a couple of red candles here, but we're still maintaining above this support level here. I'm pretty sure we're closed. Yeah, we're closed right now on this one. So coming in tomorrow, coming into the rest of the week, it'll be very interesting to see whether or not we see closures below the blue box territory, or if we see extension above the blue box territory. We'll go ahead and talk about that first and foremost. Any opening closure above the breakout point, the potential breakout point on new all-time highs, I will be looking for extension to the one spot 272 Fibonacci extension target somewhere around 17,200 bucks. Again, not a perfect touch. It doesn't have to perfectly meet that target for it to be considered met, right? Give or take a few bucks here or there, and obviously looking for general markets to ebb and flow up into that region. I'm not looking for a straight shot. I never am, but confirming new all-time highs upon breaking above the current all-time high, and then finding tentative support upon that region leads me to believe that continuation to the upside is the most likely outcome for this one. Coming down, looking at stochastics, same thing here. Looking, more and more like it wants to enter the bullish control or the bullish critical zone. We're already in the bullish control zone. Looking for potential entry into the bullish critical zone. And again, like I said, look at the reaction here from stochastics and price action. Not really a momentous, sell-off to the downside. Bullish sentiment still remains, in my opinion. Looking at RSI, this one is curling down a little bit, but this kind of correlates with the potential to see a test of the 21. If we do see that test of the 21 hold, I would expect to see RSI bounce off the exponential and continue onwards and upwards. Now, breaking below the 21 exponential clearly and obviously would open up the potential for the target to the downside to become 15,675 or the current consolidation lows here. Any closure below there, it's a different story in my opinion. Any open and closure below this, right? Not just an initial break, but a secondary open and closure to confirm or test as tentative resistance below 15,650. I will look for full continuation to this region here, about 14,900 bucks. But that is well and far away here. We're actually looking more bullish than not. Again, RSI in the bullish neutral zone above the 50 read. Exponential has a positive slope, and stochastics looks really, really, really juicy, especially after that bounce at the neutral zone here. So until proven otherwise, you guys, I still remain bullish on this asset. Seeing all-time highs being tested for the first time, seeing a little bit of red price action as a result, not out of the question. Not out of the question. Nothing too unorthodox in this market here today. So NASDAQ's looking good. We're going to head and check out SPY futures. This one actually sitting on new all-time highs today. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, technically on new all-time highs. Where did this one close? 47.84. Yesterday closed at 47.81. So by $3. We're on new all-time highs on SPY futures by $3 today, and the general sentiment remains. Now, seeing this being as extended as it is, it would not be out of the question, in my opinion, to see a pullback to the current breakout point of 47.10, find tentative support here, and then continue to the one spot 272, which is still my original target, right around the 48 to 25 spot 50, give or take a few bucks here. But again, same sentiment here. Stochastics in the bullish critical zone. Very, very, very nice. I do like that. No sway in momentum there. RSI kind of going a little stagnant and sideways, but again, in correlation with what price action's doing, RSI is a lot more reactive to price action than stochastics. So, you know, again, nothing out of the ordinary in my opinion. You know, we do have a little bit of a structure to be considerate of. Boom, boom. 3 points to confirm. 4 points to confirm. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like it. Maybe 5. 5. So, you know, we do have a structural trend line here from an RSI perspective. We're seeing rising lows out of the formation. The pressure is definitely to the upside, in my opinion here. Exponential is positive. We're above the 50 read. We're closing on new highs. Just because we're going a little sideways does not tell me that price action momentum is just done with yet. Now, what would tell me that momentum likely swings the other way would be a closure below the breakout point. Again, below 47.10 here, at which point I would look for a rather hastily test of the 21 exponential here. Any closure below the 21 exponential, then I'm going to be looking for price action to continue further down. Actually, I want to restructure this chart one more time. I want to make sure that the information that I am providing is accurate, not only for you guys, but for me as well. So obviously, you know, get your hands dirty, guys. You know, if you're playing with charts, it's always good to, you know, clean them off, and start looking for, you know, different points, different perspectives here. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. We're going to get the fib extensions here. See if it still lines up. Yeah, it still lines up. Look at that. And just in case we see pullbacks, we can see that you know, the first level below the 21 that I'm going to be really focused on here is the spot 382 Fibonacci retracement level, and obviously following that is the spot 5 Fibonacci retracement level. This is the more significant low that I'm paying attention to. This is kind of the change of behavior point that I'm looking at here. This is the point as of right now that tells me, hey, you know, it's evident that the market is likely to sway the other way for some time, but we're obviously not even close to that yet, so I'm not really concerned with that. What I'm really concerned with is that 1 spot 272, you know, extension target to potentially be met here. At which point, yeah, I would be kind of preparing for some sell-off pressure here. Obviously, we're already seeing some pressure, some sideways, some indecision as a result of even being close to that extension target here. So again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Please remember, technical analysis is not a science. It is most definitely an art. Some people out there would potentially classify the 1 spot 272 Fibonacci target already being met. You know, from my perspective, though, I'm a little more conservative. I'd like to see a candle body closure a little bit closer to that region before I'm convinced. But outside of that, same thing as NASDAQ, you guys. I'm looking for continuation. God damn it, hiccups. Until proven otherwise. Dixie. Oh. Now this is what will correlate the chances here of seeing continuation in the market to the upside, right? Putting a lot of pressure on that support right now. Actually wicking below it for the first time since this region here. What was that? The 30th of November. So it's been a month since we've even seen a wick below this support. This support region here, but nonetheless, we are utilizing the 21 exponential here as tentative resistance and looking to break down below this support. Any open and closure below 95 spot 85, I will look for full and uninterrupted continuation towards that diagonal trend line of peace and prosperity. I would look for a potential test anywhere between 94.90 and 94 spot 55. Anywhere within that region here, in my opinion, would be fair game upon confirmation below tentative support and flipping it to new tentative resistance. Evidence is in the momentum oscillators right now. RSI breaking down, looking for a test of the 50 read, currently testing that diagonal trend line of peace and prosperity. Look at how fucking amazing that trend line is. Look at all those touch points, you guys. This is the kind of stuff that we're looking for here to give us the basis of information that we need to make solid, sound technical decisions here. And right now, for the US dollar index, that trend line is currently being threatened. Now, Does that change the price action macro as a whole? Not in my opinion here. Again, we do see a solid trend line here on price action. Obviously, when we come to RSI, we see in correlation here, RSI is basically touching the trend line right now, while price action is nowhere near its trend line. So from the macro perspective, I'm still macro bullish unless we see a confirmed change of behavior. We see the next macro low being taken out, which is right around what? 93.35. Price action has to close below there for me to be convinced that this one is going to be long-term to the downside. Outside of that, yeah, it does look a little concerning. I would suggest some decline in price action. I am going to be looking for that support to potentially break to the downside. And you guys already know I speak volumes on this moving average strategy all the time. As long as price action remains below the 21 exponential, I am going to be looking for continuation to the downside. Although we've seen this before, where we break the 21 and then we kind of chop around it for some time. This one's looking looking like it more or less like it wants to continue to the downside just a little bit more. Stochastics confirming new lows into the bearish control zone here, looking for tentative entry into the bearish critical zone. So the pressure is definitely on to the downside. It does look like this consolidation phase likely breaks to the downside here, but again, not confirmed, right? It's consolidation until the end of the consolidation phase. It could just as easily pop back up above the 21, at which point I would look for tentative tests to the top side of the range, and the sentiment still remains. As long as we're in this range, in this consolidation here, I'm either looking for the top side of the range to break or the bottom side of the range to break. Obviously, we have our targets to the downside. If we confirm below support, anything above 96.70 with confirmation would lead me to believe that a whole $1 extension to the upside towards 97.70 is the likely outcome, which means we likely see some red days, even more so in the cryptocurrency market and in the general stock market as a whole. But if this one comes to the downside, I'm thinking that maybe the stock market does its thing and continues to new all-time highs here. That's going to do it for Dixie. I know people are asking about the Hall of Fame Village continuation. I would consider this the target has been met. 3 cents off the $1.46 target. But guess what, guys? Still looking for more. I'm still looking for continuation to the downside. We saw continuation and a confirmation into the bearish control zone. Obviously, we see a little bit of waning momentum here. It's not straight down from an RSI perspective, but guess what? Still negative. RSI exponential is still negative. Still seeing pressure to the downside with this one. Stochastics rejecting the bullish control zone or the bearish control zone here and breaking down further more so. So sentiment remains the same, guys. I'm not going to get into the whole investment versus trading thing today on this one. As long as we're below the 21 exponential here, I am not looking for any bullish momentum, and any bullish momentum that we do get likely gets sideswiped by the bearish market that the Hall of Fame is currently in, unless we confirm new highs, which currently the change of behavior point is at $1.81, and look at that, just above the 21 exponential. Until we see closures above there, I have no biases towards the upside. None. Death and destruction for the Hall of Fame to the downside. I know in the group chat we've had some concern about the Hall of Fame. Why is it doing this? Why is it doing this? I do want to remind everybody that it is trading the Hall of Fame Village here. The project isn't even done. Come on. I keep getting questions. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be an asshole here. I'm really not. But I'm getting all these questions why the Hall of Fame is doing what it's doing, right? The only thing that I can depict from that question is the simple fact that it's not even built. You guys, it's not even built yet. They're still working on construction. It's not even close to built. How can a project generate any kind of revenue if it's not even built yet? Come on. Right? I try to remind these people, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a trading asset for me. It's not. It's simply put an investment, right? I am looking for the next 5 to 10 years. What happens to price action before that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me right now for this one is, decline. Go ahead and get, completely, get wrecked. Go to $1. Right, I want the Hall of Fame to go to $1, right? Because at that point, I'm gonna average down. We're well below my entry point right now, which that red line on the price action chart was my original entry point here back in 2020. beginning of 2021, right around here is where I entered, and from my perspective, it was a delicious investment entry here. Now I'm looking to average down as price action continues to decline. I don't know where this one goes, guys. To be quite honest with you, I don't know how low this one can go. It will be interesting to see where price action ends up, but at the same time, again, please remember the project is not complete. The project is not complete. So, have patience. If you're an investor for the Hall of Fame and you're young and you have time, patience is the virtue for this one. Price action right now may be completely irrelevant in 5 to 10 years. So, looking 5 to 10 years from now, while I am absolutely bearish on the Hall of Fame, that sentiment could prove to be completely invalid in 5 to 10 years. When they finish the project, when they open the project, and when people start touring Canton, Ohio for the Hall of Fame Village and spending their money there. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. That's the Hall of Fame. I think I'm going to do my Bitcoin here. Looking for a tentative secondary candle closure below the 21 exponential, at which point, if confirmed, which it is very likely, we got about an hour before closure here, I will look for continuation all the way down to 45,430 here. Any candle closure below there, I believe the cryptocurrency macro trend as a whole would be threatened here. Again, we do have a lower high confirmed. We have a lower high confirmed, and a break below the 21, which tells me downtrend continuation is the most likely outcome in my opinion. Candle closures below 45.3 will lead me to believe that the next target is going to be somewhere around 40,007, which is perfectly in line with that inevitable change of behavior point. Any closures below 40,007, I'm going to be looking for a bear market. For cryptocurrencies here, and it's very, very, very likely. I do have some crypto requests in the comment section today. It is very likely that it's going to be the same exact sentiment here, except more bad, more worse for altcoins. Yeah, Bitcoin can take a huge hit, Bitcoin can take a huge decline, but 9 times out of 10, altcoins get shreked twice as hard when they enter bear markets here. They see cataclysmic losses, which fine by me, looking to buy and hodl some cryptocurrencies at the lowest possible price points. Whenever we achieve a change of behavior, we can talk about macro potentials to the downside, because in my opinion, it goes far below 30 grand here. We can start talking about different levels of bear market that we could consider here. But with the way price action's looking, yes, technically we could hold support, right? We could continue this consolidation for quite some time before reverting back to a bullish sentiment, but with the evidence that I'm being presented with right now, it does look like the sentiment is sell pressure, selling to the downside. And the only thing that would convince me otherwise would be an open and closure above 51,000, at which point would correlate in confluence with an open and closure above the 21 as well. I would look for the next target somewhere around 58,000 to be the next possible upside swing here for Bitcoin. And that's kind of where things get a little bit more exciting for the bullish perspective rather than not exciting. But right now, Bitcoin looking to confirm below the 21 here. And again, you guys know my trading rules here. I did mention to you guys that I did take a little bit of a loss here. This was a little bit of a trap in my opinion here with that confirmation above the 21. Just kidding. Rejected. Boom, back below. So where I took a loss just a few days ago, a very, very, very small, insignificant loss just a few days ago, I'm already looking to set up new positions to the downside for Bitcoin here. So that's kind of my takeaway on Bitcoin. Stochastics rejecting the bullish critical zone, escaping the bullish control zone, I think. Yep. Not a good signal. RSI coming up to reach the 50 read and never really touching it, getting rejected back below the exponential, and the exponential's been forced to a negative slope. So it all depends on what price action does from here, right? Again, I am planning for both sides. I do have a bias to the downside, but at the end of the day, I try to remind you guys, my bias does not matter. What price action does is what matters. I could be biased to the downside all day, and we could stop and reverse tomorrow all the way back above the 21, and then I'd be proven wrong. But guess what? I have a plan for both sides. I have a plan for both sides, so you can never lose. So I can never lose, right? So that's kind of my takeaway on Bitcoin right now. We'll go ahead and check out these Mana USD. Probably the same thing, brother. Coming into Mana, looking at it right now, same thing. Looking for a secondary candle closure below the 21 exponential, at which point I would look for a test of this region here, right around $3.06. And if it breaks, I will look for a tentative pull into the $2.48 region here. Anything below there, just like Bitcoin, change behavior will be confirmed. And the next target down is like $1.50, like a huge decline, like a 30% decline. Just boom, a whole dollar gone. But just like Bitcoin here, if we revert back up above the 21 exponential, confirm new highs above $3.86, I would look for a test of the next resistance somewhere around at $4.40 and likely higher. Again, it likely reverts back to a bullish sentiment if we maintain a bullish structure, right? While it doesn't look like it's planned, right? It is planned. That's Mana. Stochastics rejecting the bullish critical zone as well. RSI back below the 50 read. Not a good, not good. It's not looking good. And if US dollar index comes to the downside, it makes me wonder if the bullish structure will be maintained. But at the same time, while the US dollar index is seeing some decline in that consolidation phase, we haven't seen any price action positivity from cryptocurrencies. Just the regular, traditional stock market. So I'm not sure how much Dixie correlates with Bitcoin, but I do know that a lot of the market suffers when Dixie's coming up, and a lot of the market doesn't suffer when Dixie's coming down. So it'll be very interesting, you guys, to see what price action and crypto does in correlation with US dollar index and the rest of the stock market coming into the future. Magic. Magic Software, MGIC. I'm not sure, dude, if this is the one you want. You just typed Magic in. Bad. I don't even like the look of this fucking chart. It's too choppy. I guess I'll give it a shot though, if this is something that you're into. I didn't see any cryptocurrencies for Magic. Let me try that one more time. MAGIC. Oh, okay. It is a cryptocurrency. What? I'm just going to do the crypto, bro, because I'm not sure if you want that stock or if you want the crypto, but the crypto looks all right. The crypto looks to be doing its own thing here. Obviously, not the cleanest chart, in my opinion, but, a chart nonetheless. Clearly defined support, clearly defined resistance. Boom. Boom. Currently holding support right now. Let's see what oh my god. Fuck. See possible levels here. I mean, we've met Fibonacci extension targets 1, 2, 3, almost 4 times already, just holding support right now. What does momentum say? Momentum says pull. RSI is back below the bullish control zone here, testing the exponential, while stochastics here is confirming a lower high and rejecting the bullish control zone. It's holding support, but it's not looking good. It does look like it wants to pull back into the 21 once again. This one is a real choppy, to be quite honest with you. I would say, though, as long as price action remains above the 21 EMA here, I would be looking for continuation towards the 1.272. Something like 50... Oh, my God. I'm having a hard time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3... Yeah, like 5 million Satoshis is what I would look for. Something like 5.8 million Satoshis, but again, we've hit that target a couple of times. We actually hit the 1.618, right around 7.5 million Satoshis. Yeah, I say very, very easily, if it closes below support here, I would be looking for pulls into the 21, maybe all the way back down. This could be a huge consolidation phase opening up, but sitting on new all-time highs leads me to believe that momentum, could be continuing to the upside, while, RSI has the potential to confirm some type of bearish divergence, and so does stochastics here. Yeah, look at that. Boom. Bearish divergence identified. Potential for bearish divergence identified. If we get a top call here with a closure below the support at 44.6 million Satoshis here, and more conservatively below 4.2 million Satoshis, we likely get a top call, and bearish divergence will inevitably play out here. Bearish divergence, again, for those that you don't know, when momentum oscillators prints a high, price action prints a high, and then boom, price action prints even a higher high, while momentum oscillators prints a lower high. That is bearish divergence. While it is not confirmed, it is unconfirmed yet. If it is confirmed, I would be expecting it to play out at least at the bare minimum towards the 21 EMA, which we actually have a nice little support trend line here to consider for that region. Maybe a little bit below, maybe like 2.7 million Satoshis, which is a big fall, man. That's a big, nasty decrease. This one's looking real volatile and violent. Oh my god. I mean, this wick here, from the top of the wick to the bottom of the wick, it's like 75. Oh my god. Yeah, this one's real violent right now. So also consider the fact that it's real young, right? What I'm telling you guys about this right now, in my opinion, is absolute bullshit. I'm not even confident in the analysis that I can provide for this, just for the simple fact that, man, it's like 3 months old. It's like 3 months old. So while it has a little bit of history, it does have clearly defined horizontal support and resistance. It does not classify my analysis on this as legit, right? So you can practice TA on it, but that does not mean I am confident enough to trade. I would never trade anything that's I would never trade anything utilizing technical analysis that's under a year old. Never. I would never do it. But from an investment standpoint, maybe it's a good decision. Maybe you're looking for this one to hit the moon. Power to you. I'm doing the same thing with SHIB, right? SHIB isn't something that I trade, but SHIB is something that I hold for the long term. So, Magic does look bullish. It does look like continuation, but if we get a top call, bearish divergence likely plays out, and it likely plays out in a violent fashion. So that's going to do it for Magic. What's next? By the way, this is one of the cryptocurrencies that I have found that is trading to its own accord. It's not doing what Bitcoin's doing. So same thing with Magic here, or not Magic. VeChain, clearly defined lower high, boom, back below the 21 exponential, looking to confirm that in about 52 minutes here. Same thing, any candle closure that confirms below the 21 today, and today only, I will look for, boom, continuation to 7.6 cents here. RSI rejecting the 50 read, bearish divergence, boom, back below the exponential. Exponential's a little flatline, but continuation with that secondary candle closure below the 21 today likely forces that to a negative slope. Same thing with stochastics, boom, rejecting the bullish critical zone here. Still in the bullish control zone, but very, very, very critical signal in my opinion with that. What likely leads to continuation, and same thing. Any candle closure below this point here at 7.5 cents, I will look for a full pullback to 5.5 cents. To the downside. The only thing that would convince me otherwise would be a higher low here, conversion back above the 21 exponential, back above this tentative resistance at 9.7 cents, which would lead me to believe this is the macro low that we've been looking for, with continuation towards 11.5 cents. But again, this is one of those cryptocurrencies that follows what Bitcoin's doing, and this formation here looks very similar to Bitcoin's. Very similar. Break above the 21, gives you a false signal, hits resistance, boom, breakdown. So, probably the same thing for Cardano here. ADA looking like it wants to do the same thing, question mark? And I'm going to guess yes! Yes, absolutely. Again, another clearly defined lower high within this region here, looking to tentatively break support at the same time, but again, looking for that secondary candle closure below the 21, which would lead me to believe that the next target at about $1.20 here is the next target that's likely to be met. Anything below there, same thing. Looking for the next target to the downside at about $1.04. Yeah, $1.04. Unless we revert back above the 21, confirm a higher low, close above the resistance at 152, I am going to be looking for the downside. Yeah. that's generally the feeling for cryptos right now. A little bit nerve-wracking. Downtrend continuation, the most likely outcome in my opinion. Again, I could be proven wrong. I am injecting a lot of my personal biases into my analysis, which I always do, and I always remind you guys that at the end of the day, anything in this market can happen for any reason, and my bias is not important. My bias is not relevant. What is relevant is what types of confirmations we receive on the price action charts. So while I'm going to be observing Bitcoin pretty much every day, Bitcoin's going to be the determining factor, in my opinion, whether or not the rest of the crypto market comes to the downside or goes back up. And that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the stream. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tick that little bell. Give your brother some support. I'm on here all the time, Monday through Friday. And that's going to be the game plan looking forward. So thank you guys. Again, big 350 in the Blackfire technical analysis community here, looking to make that grow even more. Thank you so much, everybody. And that's going to do it. Until next time, you already know what it is. Stay safe, stay happy.